Alright, I'm going to give instructions on and a demonstration of the assembly of the LINT LUV-R. And first thing to do is make sure you have all the items in the kit. So you'll have an instruction sheet that has diagrams in it and all the components. So you'll have the filter head, the two pipe nipples, two elbows, two conduit clamps. You'll have a adapter. That's just in case you need to add a little extra piece of hose onto the length of your washing machine hose if it's not long enough where your mounting location is. So you may not need that. 3 stainless steel clamps, Teflon tape, the grommet that will go inside the filter to make your seal, and of course the filter bowl, which when assembled and in use will fit like that, and four wood screws. So first of all, we start by wrapping Teflon tape on each of the fittings. Okay, so you do it in a clockwise rotation. That way the tape won't turn off when you install it. So again, in a clockwise manner, just a couple wraps, you don't need much. Okay, and that will go into the filter head on each end. Just hand tight is good. So typically hand tight and then maybe another half turn with a pair of pliers. A pair of channel locks, or you can use a set of vice grips or a small pipe wrench. And you better be careful not to over tighten it because you can actually crack the plastic fitting, so that should be fine. And if you find once you install it that if you got a little leak, you may need to tighten a little more. Okay, so that's one side. Basically repeat the other side. I didn't put the Teflon tape on there, but it's just for demonstration purposes. Save some time. And you'll notice there's, when you have a look, you'll see an inside and an outside. That's very important because out of your washing machine you want to connect to the inside because it's the way that directs the water through the filter. It has to pass through. It will actually has to pass through the screen, out through the center into the drain. So that's very important. So that's basically assembled. Now if you don't have the wall mount kit, you would need a shelf or a cabinet to mount it to. And essentially this is what you're going to have. And your shelf or cabinet will mount, the four screws will mount right underneath the cabinet or shelf. And ideally, to make it easier, is to install the outlet port. The drain for this washing machine is basically right here. So you want to have the outlet as close to the drain lined up as possible, just so that you don't get kinks and bends. Included in the kit is a 3-foot length of clear hose, which will go on to the outlet of the filter, and that will go down inside your drain, and you can cut it to whatever length you need, but it should probably extend down about a foot inside in the drain standpipe. Another tip as well is to put a cloth or some foam insulation around where your pipe goes in, your drain hose goes into the pipe, and that will seal to create any odors from backing up and any smell. What I'm going to do now is install the rubber grommet on the top of the filter, and it can be a little tricky, but here's a couple tips anyway. So there's a groove in the grommet that needs to go inside the sheet metal. So I usually put it into a bit of a pointed shape, get the first part started in there. There, okay. And then it's just a matter of kind of going around in a circle and pushing it in. Kind of lift up on the edges, push down a little bit. And you can tell it looks concentric once it's in there. And often you can give a little spin when it's in place, so that's typically it.